Hey, what's going on YouTube? Gary here, gzduel is here to play some 3-axis Fire Fist, and it's going to be a match. And I know I didn't do a match last time. I should be doing more matches with these decks, because those matches are fun. You get to learn a lot about siding and learn a lot about, the deck once you play. And first turn I drew the most broken cards possible. I drew into Leopard and I drew into Tenki, which means I can go +3 in the first turn. Seriously guys, 3-axis Fire Fist might be top tier next format, depending on what happens to the Dragon Rulers and depending on what happens to the Prophecies. So I'm going to set Tensu, and I'm going to use Tensu's effect. I'm going to activate Tenki, and I'm going to use Tenki's effect to get Spirit. Now, Spirit's effect, if you guys don't know, of course, is so Tensu first of all allows me to normal summon another Beast Warrior type monster, and when Spirit is normal summon, I can special summon one 200 defense or lower fire monster from my graveyard. And so I can synchro summon this because Spirit is a tuner monster, seriously a tuner monster, and I'm going to summon out Horse Prince. And Horse Prince's effect is when this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon one level 3 fire monster from your deck onto the field. So I'm going to summon out Chicken or Rooster, and I'm going to use Rooster's effect. When it's special summoned by a Fire Fist monster effect, I can search the deck. Seriously, I can search the deck for a Fire Fist monster, and I'm going to search for Spirit. And that's not all. Hold on a second. Chicken has a second broken effect. I can send a face-up fire formation spell or trap in order to set another fire formation spell or trap. And I was like, wow, seriously? So I just got back the Spirit that I used, and I got a Tenki, and I got a second Tenki from the first Tenki, and I have a pretty sizable board. And I have Mirror Force, Protect Everything. Are you serious? So my opponent, I really don't think what my opponent can do at this point. Like, what can you do to play out of this +3? You're going to summon out Shiratan, you're going to play Constellars, that's fine with me, because your Shiratan's not going to do anything. Even if you have Honest, do you want to waste an Honest on Horse Prince? Because I still have Tensu, I still have Tenki, I still have Spirit in my hand, and I can still get rid of your stuff. Until he sets 4 back row, and I was like, okay, I spoke too soon, guys. I spoke way too soon. So I have Valor, and I was like, okay, so Valor plus Dragon Ruler might be okay. I'm going to try to work with what I have on the field right now, hopefully just conserve some of the resources I have. I don't want to go for the Spirit push, because if I go for the Spirit push, then I might run into something like Bottomless Trap Hole. So he's going to chain MST on my Tensu, so he's hoping that I don't normal summon twice this turn. So that makes me think he probably doesn't have that great of a back row if he doesn't want me to normal summon twice. So I'm going to try to go with Bear first, test out the waters, see if he has a bottomless. He doesn't have a bottomless. So at this point I was thinking, should I get rid of Shiratan with Bear's effect, or should I use Chicken's effect to get Tensu? And I actually did the wrong move. I used Bear's effect to get rid of the Shiratan, where I should have used Chicken's effect to get rid of Tenki. The reason being, if I run into a Mirror Force like I do right now, if I use Chicken's effect to get rid of Tenki in order to get something like Leopard, I would be able to normal summon Leopard next turn, get Tensu, and go with either Bear, or I could use Spirit's effect. But I didn't do that, so I was really, really sad. But my consolation is I still have Bear, and he has Shiratan, so I was like, I could attack over it, and I can still get the plus from the Tenki. And once I have that plus from the Tenki, next turn I can set up, I can get Tensu. After I get Tensu, I can get Spirit, and everything should be okay. So he has he just ends the turn with Shiratan. He doesn't set any new back row. Does that make me think he probably doesn't have that great of a back row? So I decided to risk it. I decided to go for Spirit, and I'm going to use Spirit's effect to try to get back the Leopard, and I'm going to use Leopard's effect to try to no, not Leopard's effect. I'm going to synchro with Leopard to try to get Horse Prince, and from Horse Prince I'm trying to get into Chicken, and so on. So he's going to use Solemn Judgment on my Horse Prince. That really hurt, but I still have Bear, and I still have the Dragon Ruler. So I was thinking, okay, this should be okay. This should be alright. I still haven't entered battle phase. Should I go for the Dragon Ruler? Probably not, because I still have Bottomless Trap Hole, and the Dragon Ruler will come back, and he has a Shiratan. What he's going to do with Shiratans? Like, he can go for a rank 3 exceed, or so I thought. And I was like, that's fine. If you go for a rank 3 exceed, if you go for Zen mains, that might be a bit of a problem, but it's okay. If he attacks, I still have Mirror Force. So that's why I didn't go for my Dragon Ruler play. And I kind of regret it now because he's gonna go for Shiratans, he's gonna go for a rank 3C, he's gonna go for a Hiatus, and I was like, okay, what are you gonna do with the Hiatus? It's useless. And then he overlays for M7. I was like, oh right, because it's a Constellar monster. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to chain Bottomless Trap Hole to your summoning, and then hopefully he sets another back row. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna use Bear. Do you have a response for Bear? You probably have a response for Bear. Yep. So, all right. Now, since I have nothing else, I'm going to set the back row. Hopefully he doesn't go into anything super broken, and hopefully he doesn't set any new things. I'm going to try to do the Dragon Ruler play as late as possible. As late as possible, really. And he's going to summon out Pollux, and he's going to summon out Koss. And instead of going for his Pleiades right away, he decides to go into battle phase. And I was like, oh, you messed up right there because I have Mirror Force. So we both ran into each other's Mirror Forces. So now I have Gyoko. Now that I have Gyoko, I was like, okay, now I can go for my Dragon Ruler play. I can go for Blaster, and I can Synchro Summon after that. And then if he gets rid of my Synchro Monster, I can still summon out Blaster. I have enough fire materials, and I should be able to win. So now my opponent goes into game 2 with me, and I'm going to side in Rivalry of Warlords because Constellar monsters are like, what, Fairy type, Beast Warrior type, a whole bunch of weird stuff. So I'm going to side in that. And he plays a lot of back row, so I want to get rid of it with Eradicator Epidemic Virus, but I'm having second thoughts. So first, I'm going to side in cards that I really want to side in. I'm going to side out the Veilers, because the Veilers are kind of useless against his Pollux and stuff. I'm going to side out the Maxi, because Maxi is also kind of useless. I thought about siding in Deck Devastation, but I'd rather side in the Eradicator Epidemic. And since I'm just going to swap these cards first. And also, since I sided in Rivalry of Warlords, that Dragon monster that I have the Dragon Ruler that I have, isn't as compatible anymore. So I decided I'm going to take out one of these blasters for a second Epidemic Virus, and that should be okay. And I'm going to go into game 2 with my opponent. And hopefully I draw into some of my side-in cards because he plays a lot of back row, and I don't want to play through that back row. It's just exhausting to play through back row. And my opponent is probably going to go first this turn. Yep, he's going to go first for the second game. And and I drew into some of the most weird stuff ever. And I was like, okay, as long as I get a leopard, as long as I get a Fire Fist leopard, this hand is broken. But if I don't, then I don't even know how I'm gonna play out of it. So I don't care if he sets a whole bunch of back row. That's fine with me because I still have MST. I have the 2 Gyokos, and we should be okay with that. But he decides to go Pollux. Okay, Pollux's effect, summon out Koss's effect, both level 5s, go into Constellar Pleiades. And I was like, damn, really? Now I have to deal with Pleiades on top of you having like back row? Okay, I guess, alright, that's fine. So he's going to set 2 back row, I think. He doesn't want to set too much just in case I have Heavy Storm. And I'm going to draw into Rivalry. So I was like, okay, Rivalry is pretty good. At least it'll help me like make the game slower for him. I'm going to use the 2 Gyokos in order to trap his 2 set cards. And after doing that, I'm going to set all of my back row. So hopefully his Pleiades will be scared, will be kind of scared, so he won't attack with Pleiades per se, and instead he will use maybe Pleiades' effect on his own Tenki, and once he uses his effect on his own Tenki, when he uses Tenki again, I have MST. And when I have MST, I would be able to get rid of his Tenki that he used so he can't search, and I would have gotten 1 material away from Pleiades. Hopefully that'll all work out. Okay, so he doesn't use this effect during the end phase because I set too many back row, and he's gonna, like I said, he's gonna be too scared to run into a Mirror Force or whatever, so he's probably not gonna do much. And he's gonna detach 1, send back his Tenki, and when he's using Tenki, I'm gonna chain MST, destroy the Tenki, so he can't get a search. Okay, good. And now he's going to use Pot of Duality. He has Sombris, and he has Thunder King. So I was like, if he picks Thunder King, I might be in some trouble, actually, because I need to add cards. but he's looking at his banish and he's gonna get Sombrous to his hand. So I was like, weird. Why wouldn't you get Thunder King? Thunder King is like super good. But I guess if he summons out Thunder King, I would have just used Rivalry of the Warlords, getting rid of his Thunder King. So, you know, that can be helped. I draw into a compulsory evacuation device, so I was like, okay, cool. At least I can get rid of his stupid Pleiades. But he has Sombrous. But once he has Sombrous, I'm going to use Rivalry of Warlords, and I would be able to get rid of some of this stuff. So he's going to use Tenki because he draws into another Tenki because he's a cheater and he stacks his deck. I'm just kidding, guys. This is Dev Pro. This is Dueling Network. He can't stack his deck. And okay, so he's going to use that. He's going to get costs. So now I know he has a cost in his hand. He has a Sombrous in his hand. And he's going to try to probably make a push right here. Since he attacked with Pleiades last turn and he saw that I don't have a response, he's going to try to get rid of the back row that I just set. But if I were him, if I were smart, I would have chained Pleiades' effect during the end phase so that I wouldn't have the compulsory evacuation device live during his turn. Over here, I got it back because I had a little bit of a mix-up. But seriously, I made a mistake right here because I thought it would be returned to the hand because it was chained to Constellar Pleiades' effect. But actually, since I am on chain link 2, my effect resolves first, and the evacuation device goes into the graveyard once it resolves, and I wouldn't be able to get it back into my hand. So now when he's using Pollux, he's using Cos, I'm going to use Rivalry of the Warlords, and hopefully he doesn't have MST, and then he's going to lose his monsters, and he's just going to attack with Cos. I should have taken 100 more damage over here, and I know that in his hand is going to be a Fairy type Sombrous. As long as I can get rid of something, as long as I can get rid of his costs, and so when I get rid of his cost with my Bear's effect, I can actually attack directly, and if I attack directly, I can get Tenki. Once I get Tenki, I can use Tenki's effect to get Leopard, and when I get Leopard, I can use Leopard's effect next turn when I summon it to tribute to get Tensu. When I have Tensu on the field, I can summon out the Spirit, and I can go plus, hopefully, into Horse Prince and all that stuff, and it'll be alright. Okay, so I'm going to try that. I'm going to attack, and he has but at least it wasn't the back row that I freed up. If it was that, then I would have been really, really sad. Okay, so hopefully he doesn't top deck into anything super broken, like Pollux into Pollux. But that's pretty broken already. He's going to summon out Bear. And I was like, okay, so if he has Bear, he's going to attack with Bear. I'm going to take 1,700 damage. And he's going to use Bear's effect to set Tenki. And then he's going to activate Tenki's effect next turn. Well, actually, no, this turn to get costs. And when he has costs, I'm going to summon out costs. If I don't have a response to that, then I'm going to lose because he can just do more damage. But then he tells me, he doesn't have Bear's target. He doesn't have any more Tenkis. Apparently, I think he used all 3 of his Tenkis. And I was like, okay, good. Great. Okay, so at least I won't have to worry about another thing. And I drew into Leopard. You remember when I told you guys I can't show you the original recording because it was like really loud and me really getting excited? Yes, this was an exciting moment for me. I was like, yes, awesome. I'm going to use Leopard's effect to set Tensu, and I'm going to hopefully use Tensu's effect to normal summon Spirit. But he changed MST. So I was like, okay, MST. But then I was like, wait, MST? Really? Okay, you're chaining MST now, and you're not chaining MST like when you drew into Bear and you had Sombrous, and you could have MST'd my Rivalry, summon Sombrous, use Sombrous's effect to get back another Constellar monster, normal summon that Constellar monster, attack for direct damage. After attacking for direct damage, you can go for overlay for a Cowboy, and I would die. Why didn't you do that? Why did you save your MST for my Tensu? Well, I guess it did stop me, but it's not as fatal as if he used MST on my Rivalry, because right now, look, he can only get a Pollux, and if he has Pollux in his hand and he has Sombrous in his hand, what else can he do? There's nothing else he can do, really, because those are different types of monsters. And I drew into Mirror Force, but I have Spirit now. Now my graveyard is set up. I have Leopard. I can pull back Leopard, and I can do all of the shenanigans that I wanted to do in the first place. So I can go for Horse Prince and use Horse Prince's effect to get Rooster, of course, and Rooster's effect can get another Spirit, and then I'm going to attack directly. Now I know that. So it's a good thing that I put it in. I put it in attack mode anyways because I have a Mirror Force to protect it. So I'm not too afraid of him having a higher attack monster. And plus, he has a Pollux and he has a Sombras in his hand. So Pollux's attack is 1,700. So if he attacks into my Rooster, which has 1,600 attack, I wouldn't die. And if he summons out Sombras, Sombras doesn't have enough attack to even get over the Rooster. So I should be okay. So yeah, at that point I was like, unless he draws into Honest, because if he draws into Honest, then I might be in some trouble. So considering that, I will set the Mirror Force in anyways just to protect my my chicken, and we should be okay because I still have Rivalry of Warlords and everything should be fine. All the monsters that I special summon out and normal summon out, those guys are Beast Warriors. So like Rivalry of the Warlord doesn't hurt this deck at all, seriously. And my opponent summons out Sombras, and I was like, okay, cool, summon out Sombras. Why would you summon out Sombras? Hold on, do you have Honest? You probably have Honest. And then he was like, wait, actually. So I was like, okay, he doesn't have Honest. Okay, good. He's just misplayed a bit. That's fine. That's cool. So he has Pollux, he has Sombras, he has an unknown card, and not Honest. I should be able to win? Question mark. And he's looking at his graveyard. He's seeing anything in the extra deck that he can go into. And Shockmaster is the only one that is a fairy type, but it requires him to have 4 rank 4 level 4 monsters. And he's going to special summon out Syed, and he's going to normal summon out Sombras. And I was like, okay, he doesn't have any fairy type monster in his hand, and that mystery card was Syed. So I know he has Pollux in his hand. And he's going to use not Pollux, he's going to have, yes, Pollux. So he has 2 Pollux in his hand. And what is he doing right now? I don't even know what he's going to do. He's going to try to probably attack with the Sombras because he can't XYZ into anything except for Constellar monsters with the effect of Constellar Syed. So, I'm going to activate Mirror Force anyways, even though I know it's suicide for him. I'm going to activate Mirror Force anyways. I know his hand, but I'm just going to do it anyways because I'm scared. I'm going to use Leopard, of course. I'm now going to go broke and go Leopard into setting the Tensu. Yes, hooray for Tensu. And then I'm going to use Tensu's effect to normal summon out the Spirit because Spirit is broken. And I'll use Spirit's effect to pull back the Leopard. And I'm going to synchro summon with Leopard and Spirit. Go for a second Horse Prince because it's a Beast Warrior. Yup, it's a Beast Warrior. No point in going for Sirius anyways because I know the 2 monsters in his hand, so I'm not too afraid of his 2 monsters in his hand. As long as I kill him this turn, I think he's just preventing me from killing him this turn. That's why he summoned out like Sombras and all that stuff. And so I'm going to get a Spirit with the Chicken's effect. But since I do have Tensu and I have Gyoko, each of which adds 100 attack points more to my Chicken, what I could do is I could attack with the Chicken, destroy his Syed. And then after that, I can go for 1,700 damage with the other Chicken, 2,400 with the Horse Prince, and 2,400 with another Horse Prince. So it should be game, provided he doesn't have anything in response. So I'm just calculating, and yes, it's going to go through. So I'm going to use the Chicken, like I said, to attack, and Syed is going to die. I'm going to attack with Rooster. I don't know, Rooster, Chicken, I'll just call it whatever I feel like calling it. And then I'm going to attack with Horse Prince, and then I'm going to attack with another Horse Prince, and he surrenders. So I hope you guys enjoyed this duel. This is Gary GZ Duels, signing out.